украинцы там, Кома zelden. Coma and Netherlands zelden said. But sometimes it's difficult. Different. But I remember Coma. По-немецки Coma тоже не помню.
Okay, good. Here macaroni, it is one kind of pasta that's in a certain form, and the only that is macaroni. Yes, yeah, it's not hard macaroni. Говорится немного по-русски.
Правильно, в это Netherlands. Я могу говорить немного по-русски, немного по-нидерландски, немного по-английски, немного по-украински, немного по-белорусски, немного по-немецки.
Много языков.
Немного, little bit. For me, you need learn very well English and Netherlands. But you will Netherlands now and learn Netherlands. And I live in Ukraine. My room has so me learn only English. And I come to Netherlands, learn Netherlands too. I am saying this is difficult. Really. Speak Russia language very well. Yes. Why are you beating it?
I'm trying to fix something, yeah.
Oh, you need something wrong? Nothing is perfect, huh?
These things are weird. Come on.
Wow, I'm happy that I don't have a computer now.
Yeah, it
I had it
is.
before, many years before, but now I'm happy I don't have it.
Next melody. Next melody. I brought speaker. Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome at ISKCON Amsterdam. Today's lecture will be given by His Grace Rinpo Prabhu. He's given a big Haribol.
करना पड़ेगा
Well, if everybody can move a little bit forward for the other guests that are coming, and they can move back. Please move forward, please. I have this.
जय जय श्री राधारमण जय जय नवल किशोर जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय गोपी चित चोर प्रभु जय जय माखन चोर जय जय माखन चोर राधे मेरी स्वामिनी मैं राधे को दास जन्म जन्म मोहे दीजियो श्री चरणन में वास श्री चरणन में वास जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी 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 यशोदानंदन श्री जन यशोदा Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Shri Radhe. Jaya Karunanidai Jaya Gaurachandra Jaya Karunanidai Jaya Gaurachandra Jaya बोलो श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, नाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्री साई गौर के नाम हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते नारायणाय वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते नारायणाय वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायश्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। ॐ अज्ञानं तिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाक्यः चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदम् अहं ददाति। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदम् ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथमन्तं तं सहजीवम्।
साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनं कृष्ण चैतन्य हे राधा कृष्ण प्रदान
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदं सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरद्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकान्तं राधाकान्तं नमस्ते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry, I was like little bit, in hurry and a bit nervous, so messed up a bit. So I just want to like seek forgiveness for whatever I did and whatever I'm going to do now. Like I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, so just bear with me. And just to let you know, this is like second time sitting here, so it's obvious, and like to see so many people around. I didn't expect a lot of crowd, so yeah. So I actually want to like seek blessings from all of you, and before that I want to like pay obeisances to all of you. So please accept it, and I want to like seek blessings from Karnanita Gaurachandra Bhagwan, from Panchatattva Guru Parampara and Srila Prabhupada before we start discussing. So don't take this as like any lecture or anything. It's just we're sharing thoughts here. So I'm trying to bring the message what Prabhupada has like written in his books over here, and we're just going to like go through that again. The topic that I chose is I already put it. Thank you, Prabhu. So this is like Bhagavad Gita chapter 8 verse 6. This is very basic concept, like we all know this, but I still want to re-emphasize this because I think we always forget this very basic point. We go into the process, but then we actually forget the crux of it, why we are doing everything, why we are sitting here, why why you're so motivated to hear whatever I'm going to speak for next half an hour or something. So this particular verse is a follow-up of the discussion we had like last year in February when I was sitting here. Was verse 8.5. That was about what we should do, when we are going to leave our body. So this is just in continuation of that. So the verse goes like this: Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajyatyante kalevaram tam tam eveti kaunteya tat sada tad bhava bhavitah. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajyatyante kalevaram tam tam eveti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitah. We can maybe like recite one more time together or two more times. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajyatante kalevaram tam tam evati kaunteya sadata bhava bhavitah. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajyatante kalevaram tam tam evati kaunteya sadata bhava bhavitah.
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam
tajyante kalevaram
tadyate kalevaram
tam tam evaiti kaunteya
tam tam evati kaunteya
sada tad bhava bhavitah.
sada tad bhava bhavitah. Someone more?
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam
Yam vapi smaran bhavam
jajat ante kalevaram
tajyante kalevaram
tam tam evaiti kaunteya
tam tam evaiti kaunteya
sada tat bhava bhavitah.
sada tad bhava bhavitah.
Maybe the mother. Want to try?
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam
Yam
Yam vapi smaran bhavam
tyajyatyante kalevaram
tajyatante kalevaram
tam tamevati kaunteya
tam tam evaiti kaunteya
sada tadbhava bhavitah.
sada tat bhava bhavitah.
So maybe we can, go through the word by word of this verse together. So just to save time. So yum yum,
Yum,
whatever. We can just say together. So we, we can save some time. Va api,
at all.
smaran,
Smaran, remembering.
Bhavam,
Bhavam,
nature. Tyajyati,
Tyajyati,
gives up.
gives up.
Ante,
Ante,
at the end.
At the end.
Kalevaram,
Kalevaram,
this body.
this body.
Tam tam,
Tam tam,
similar.
similar.
Eva,
Eva,
certainly.
certainly.
Eti, gets.
Yes.
Kaunteya,
Kaunteya,
O son of Kunti.
O son of Kunti.
Sada,
Sada,
always.
always.
That, bhav, state of being.
State of being.
Bhavitah,
Bhavitah,
remembering.
remembering.
This tat and that is so similar, like in Sanskrit and in English, it's like you get confused, tat and that. So the translation goes like this: whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. I'll just read the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, yeah. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada. The process of changing one's nature at the critical moment of death is here explained. How can one die in the proper state of mind? Maharaj Bharat thought of a deer at the time of death and so was transferred to that form of life. However, as a deer, Maharaj Bharat could remember his past activities. Of course, the cumulative effect of the thoughts and actions of one's lives influences one's thoughts at the moment of death. Therefore, the action of this life determines one's future state of being. If one is transcendentally absorbed in Krishna's service, then his next body will be transcendental, not physical. Therefore, the chanting of Hare Krishna is the best process for successfully changing one's state of being to transcendental life. I think it's a little different in this one, right? Yeah, because when I read it like in the book, it's like this, but I don't know which link is this. It says prabhupadbooks.com. It's a little different. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But the crux is basically the same. I think there's like extra mantra written over there, few words here and there. So yeah, is there any like words you get attracted with in this particular like words? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajya tante kalevaram tam tam ayveti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitah. If not, then I'll pick one word to like begin with, and that's kalevaram, basically. So, does anyone know the meaning of kalevaram?
This body.
Yeah. Yeah, apart from like what Prabhupada was doing. So it's basically kalevaram is like a covering, right? So and like we have this covering, like we are wearing these clothes, or we have the curtain to like cover the altar when we offer bhoga. So kalevaram is like a covering, and then as we know, like we have this covering. So I won't go into like very basics again of that we are the soul and there is a body and so on. So there is a misconception that we believe that we are this body, but body is just a covering. It's a gross body, and then we have like two types of covering. So if we go with what is like mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, that we are the soul, we are not the body. If we have that assumption, so we don't need to like go to that. In that case, we have like two kinds of covering. One is like subtle covering and one is gross covering. So this gross body that we see is made up of like 5 elements. It's basically, anyone wants to?
Fire, water,
Yeah. Air and earth. Yes. So basically, this is what we are made up of: the flesh. There is like fire inside our stomach. There's fire, like a lot of heat inside our body. There's air. There's like space, sky, and we call like in India we say mati ka sharir, which means like we are made up of the mud. So we call this skin as the mud. And then we have a subtle body that is composed of like 3 different kind of things. So one of them is the most mysterious one, that's the mind, and the other 2 are, anyone? So we have like the question is we have gross body and we have subtle body. So what is subtle body consisting of?
Mind and heaven.
So one is like the mind, the other one just somebody said ego, and third one is
Intelligence.
intelligence. Yes, thanks. So don't wait for me to like ask if you know something, just because this is a discussion, it's not like lecture. So just let's make it more interactive. So this is like what the covering is, and there is
So
a
our
little.
body is also made of ego. Is that what you're saying? Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, the subtle body is made of ego, and the difference between gross body and subtle body is that gross body you can see, you can feel. So with these eyes, like our gross eyes, we can see it, we can touch it, we can feel it. Subtle things we cannot. So if I say like my mind says to go to Paris, to Disney, then I don't know how the mind is. I just say like my mind says, but I have never seen what mind is. And same way, like we say, there is this mad guy going there. He has no intelligence. And then we say like Einstein was like very intelligent, but we cannot see what intelligence is.
But how can you just identify two emotions? There is love, there is compassion. There's a lot of different things also.
Yeah, so we are not talking about emotions here. Emotion is like another element. We are just talking about the mind, intelligence, and ego. So subtle body, like we cannot see, we cannot touch, we cannot. We can have some kind of understanding of that.
But that's why you say get over your ego to achieve nirvana. That's
Yeah, but that's like very, like nirvana and all is a very high level concept. Let's, like progress step by step. So, because we can spend like the whole half of our life understanding what nirvana means and Krishna consciousness, like what Prabhupada created. There is a certain way of going into nirvana, and there is like a lot of other ways, like what exactly that moksha is. So we don't go to the moksha part yet. We are still talking about the body. Because we came across the word kalevaram here, and here we say like whatever is the state of one's mind while leaving the body, while leaving the kalevaram, that is the that according to that state, according to that thought, you get next body, like in the next life. So I just wanted to like mention there is gross body, there is subtle body, and subtle body is something that you cannot see. It's exactly as same as if I ask like who is your father. And we all know like who our father is. Some people they don't know. If they don't know, where do they go and like ask like who their father is? Mother, correct. Thanks.
genetical test.
Yeah, that's another one like in the modern days. So what we do is like we trust upon someone else, and that is called like Shraddha. So we have like full faith on our mother that XYZ person is our father, even if we haven't seen him. So and that's the same as like what's going on in the kitchen right now. We can just smell it. Somebody will come and say, okay, there's a nice special, I don't know if it is halwa, but there's a halwa for the feast. And we'll believe that. Or what's happening like across, like in some other continent in America. And we look at the news and then we accept that because somebody told us, because we have faith in those sources. And same way we have like faith on this Bhagavad Gita, and then we accept it, like whatever is written here is actually truth. Because if you don't have faith, then you won't believe it. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says like the subtle body is made of mind, intelligence, and ego, and this goes even if we leave the gross body. And this leaving part, the leaving of gross body is called as like the harsh thing that we don't want to accept. We all are going to face, and that's death. So the death in the material world is just about leaving the gross body, but the subtle body goes with us. So the mind, intelligence, and ego goes with us. It's a beautiful concept, right? It's so simple. Like you have to just remember certain thing when you want to die. In the previous verse, it says like you have to remember me. So if you remember me, you antagalecha mameva smarnamuktva kalevaram. And in that one, it says like when you are actually leaving the body, you should remember me. And if you remember me, you go to my world. You come back to me. You will get a body like me. So in this verse, it says whatever is your thought, you will get the same body. And we are going to come across like different examples from Bhagavatam and from our scriptures, like where this has actually happened. We'll just go there in like 2 minutes. So, but we have to remember the concept is like the gross body is going to stay here. Somebody is going to either bury it, we are going to burn it or whatever. And we are going to take our mind, intelligence, and ego. So the important thing that we have to remember is that we have to create our intelligence our ego and in mind in such a way that since it is going to be going to the other next gross body, we should get something good, right? I mean, it's always like this. When we leave the temple, we want to take the nice prasadam with us. Nobody takes the garbage. It's only Toshan Krishna Prabhu and few others, like, they take the garbage from here and then throw it. They don't take it with them.
Bhakta Omar Prabhu.
Yeah, many actually, like, I don't know what happened now with this. So, basically, we just give me like a few seconds. I don't know. Otherwise, I'll just blabber whatever comes to my mind. So yeah, we carry the intelligence and the mind and the ego with us to our next body. So it's very, very important that we develop it in a nice way. And this is all what we do throughout the life. We go to school, we learn different things, we learn arts, we learn music. Few of us might have, like our kids, they are born with certain talent, right? We call it like talent, and then we call it skill. Skill is something which we learn throughout the life. Talent, we say like they have just got when they were born. Like somebody can play musical instruments. We have like really nice musicians here. They just play like 2-year-old singing when they are just born. I don't know how they learn it. For me, like I cannot even sing nicely. So they just got it from their previous life. They were doing it for so many lives that it's still there. So we carry the intelligence with us, and mind is something that is actually helping creating the thoughts and the feelings and the creation. So whatever we see around us is just nothing but creation of our mind. And the beautiful example of that is when you dream in the night. So your gross body is here, but your subtle body in a way, like it goes everywhere. You can even go to in like Vrindavan, come back. You can actually go to the nicest pub in this city and like do whatever crap you want to do and then come back. But your gross body is here, so you actually get a feeling of like you have actually done that. Sometimes we have a full movie story going on in a dream. So once I was like sitting on the back of a lion and it was like running really fast. When I woke up, I felt almost I was like sitting on the lion. I don't know what happened in life. I don't even know why I got that thought, but I got that dream and I was like just feeling it. So we get that kind of feeling, and same way this whole life is kind of a dream. So whatever we do, we just accumulate. So we have to be very intelligent, to accumulate things that are useful. I mean, if we start collecting the currency notes, which are going to be outdated, it's not going to make any use, right? So you can collect 1 million old currency notes, and then it is of no use if you cannot, like if they're outdated. So you have to actually get the best of things, and that's the point I actually wanted to make here. Another thing with
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
And then I will not disturb you.
No, I'm not disturbed.
Okay, because I'm taking time. If it's written in any one of the book, okay?
Yeah.
So this question I always ask myself. So when I'm dying, for example, and then I say I never want to come on this earth, so will that happen? Is it written anywhere? I haven't got answer to this.
I think you're coming for the first time?
No, second time.
Second time, good. I think you should get Bhagavad Gita if you don't have
I
it.
have it. I just didn't read it.
So you should start reading this. I mean, this is the whole basis of the discussion. What is
It's written there. Okay, then I'll.
No, it's not about writing, right? Somebody can write whatever they want. It's not about like what is written in the book. It's about, is it actually true? Can this happen? Has this happened to someone? Right? So that is the whole point. And just wait for like few more minutes. We'll come to the examples where you can actually see like how you can not come back again. So the previous verse, actually 8.5, is about where Krishna says he is guaranteeing that if you remember me at the time of death, you're never going to come back to this samsara, the cycle of birth and death. He's promising that, and he's promising many things. I mean, this book is like really beautiful. Krishna promises so many things. It's very rare. Like if you read other scriptures, you don't see promises, but in this book, it's like multiple promises he's making. So he says, whenever like there's going to be wrongdoings happening in the world, I'm going to like take avatar. I'm going to appear on the earth and save the dharma. Or the how to say the righteousness or the duties of of the human beings, like he's going to protect us. So he's making a lot of claims. One of the claims he makes in the previous verse is like, if you remember me at the time of death, you will reach my my planet, and you're not going to come back again, because that planet, I think it's we have to let's make it like very simple. So we have to understand what Krishna is. Okay, we discussed that, like as I said, like in my previous discussion, we touched upon that, and if you read the book, you will see like what is it? Ishvara Paramakrishna, yeah, Brahma Samhita. In that it says like the first verse is Ishvara Paramakrishna Satchidananda Vigraha, Sat Chetan Anand. So Krishna, like the God, we call it like Krishna in this ISKCON, or in Vaishnavism we call him Krishna. Otherwise we can just call him like God, the Creator. Like the forefather, the super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, whatever we want to call. He is like Sat, Chit, and Anand. Sat is like is like goodness. Sat, Chit, and Anand. And let's go to the last one, like the third one, which is very, very much like contextual for this particular thing. Is Anand is like full of bliss, and it's not just full of bliss, actually eternal bliss. Eternal means like which does not have a starting or an end. So you can get momentary happiness in this place. Like now we are sitting, we're going to have nice prasadam, we'll be very satisfied, very happy. Then we go home. Then we, like just look at our phone, and then we look at the meetings. Monday again, it's like we again start getting into that sorrow mode. Oh, I have to pay my debts and this and that, like mortgage, kids, blah blah blah. So the satisfaction is very momentary. I have like better examples about that, but it's going to take some time. So the blissful, the eternal bliss is only with Krishna, because he is Satchit and Anand. He's like he's the full of happiness. He's and it's eternal. It's to the eternity. So if you really want to like escape this momentary, like Dukhalayam Ashashvatam, we say. This place is Dukhalayam means it's like a cage or a place which is full of like sorrow. And Ashashvatam, Shashvat means like forever. Ashashvat means temporary. So everything that you get here, even if it is sorrow or it is like happiness, you just get it like very temporary. So we all know, right? People, I mean, big companies, they have like billions, then they go bankrupt. We all get fired, like so many things happens, and we get very good wife. After like 5 years, we just say like, why did I actually get married? It's like, then we get kids. We are so happy, like, oh, we cuddle them all the time. 6 months, everybody wants to have a baby who is like 6 months. 3 years, you say, hey, why don't you go and like, just be on your own. 7 years, why don't you play with your neighbors? And then slowly 18 years, why do they left us? So we always like regret about things. We are always in like sorrow mode. We're never happy. We think we are like happy because you got the best, like the child. I still have my daughter's like 1 year picture. I feel like she was so nice, and now it's like, hey, so like you don't listen to anything. It's like so the same girl who was like so best, like everybody says she's a smiling girl, and now she's like smiling child, and now she's on her own. Nobody sees her again. Like she's so the thing which was like giving happiness to me has actually become very normal now. One fine day that will become like sorrow. She left me. Like why did she leave me? It's like we just go in that mode. We just get attached to that. And so on, and it's all these feelings. Who is actually feeling that? Yeah, good that we came back to the main point. So who is feeling it? These feelings.
The physical body. Ego.
Subtle body.
Exactly, subtle body. But which part of subtle body is actually making that feeling or the thoughts?
Mind.
It's the mind. See, because if your gross body was feeling it, right? So you have to tell me which part of your body is actually feeling that. This particular feeling, like my daughter is the best. Because if it was my hand, and if I cut my hand, my body will still feel it. If I cut both my legs, I will still feel it. So you can just remove. I have seen a really, how to say, physically challenged person who had nothing but like 2 eyes like the head and just like half of the upper body. He's like he's in Bombay on the streets. He's begging stuff, and I used to always see him and feel pity, like what I can do. And he had a nice cart like he made with like 4 wheels, and he goes on top of it. I don't know how he moves it, but somehow he is doing that. So even he has all the feelings. He is living like a normal life, not normal, but like a life like us. Uh, so it's not the gross body that has feelings. It's actually the mind which creates these thoughts and the feelings. That's what I said. Like, so whatever we see around is because like our mind wanted to have it, and we try to create that life around us. So if I want to become millionaire, I'll just go behind like finding how to make money. If I want to be really like an intellectual person, I'll start reading books. I go to library. I do this. I do that. I associate with that particular kind of people who can give me that kind of fulfillments of the desire. Bolo Shri Shri Karnani Sai Gautam Bhagwan Ki. So basically, the mind is giving us a thought, and then we create that world around us. We create that feeling and thoughts. So, and the mind is like very beautiful. It does not stop working. So even like for a fraction of a second, like if somebody makes like a noise there, we just look there. So even if we are focusing here, the mind just flickers and goes somewhere else. If we get like little nice smell from the kitchen, we'll just start speculating what is being cooked in the kitchen, right? Or at this moment, even though you're like focusing on me, maybe somebody has brought a car and they're thinking that maybe I'll get a parking ticket. So, the mind is just going here and there. And when I said millionaire, you already started thinking, okay, my plans, does it fit into that becoming millionaire? No, so mind is like just flickering every moment. So, actually in Bhagavad Gita, this Arjun, he's saying like the mind is chanchal, like it's restless, or it's like just flickers. And he says that it is very. Let me read that translation. For the mind is restless, turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. O Krishna, and to subdue it seems to me more difficult than controlling the wind. So he thinks that Arjun, right? I hope like 80% of the people sitting here or 100% knows Arjun. He could hit he was like, what is it called? The archer, right? Archer, right? What is it called? The person who archer. Yeah, he was the best archer so far. Even maybe better than Krishna at that time. It's like, we don't know. So he could hit the arrow without even seeing at the target. He can just hear the sound, or he can even stop the wind. He can do whatever with his bow and arrow. So he was that good. And that person is saying, I think the mind is like very difficult, more difficult than controlling the wind. So he can actually control the wind. He can stop the wind. I think if we want to stop the wind, we have to switch off the fan. That's the only way we can control the wind, or shut the windows. But he had that much power, like he can control the wind. But he thinks like it's actually true. He created like, when Bhishma Pitama, will go to that example, when he was like feeling thirsty on the bed of arrows, he wanted to like drink water. And then he said like, why don't you call Ganga, like my mother, and give me that water? So he didn't go and like with a glass full of water. And he didn't go and like actually drink like this. He used the arrow and brought the Ganga river there. So he had that much power, and he's saying like, I cannot control the mind. So if we think that he is right, then he is right. We cannot conquer the mind. We cannot control the mind. But if we think Arjun was actually we cannot say stupid, but maybe just a clown, or he's just like that. It was in the Dwapar age. Now we are in 21st century, right? We have the most modern technology. We can do whatever we want with the artificial intelligence or computers. We can do many things. So we can control the mind. So if you think that, then Krishna himself in like Srimad Bhagavatam in 11th canto, 16th chapter, what he's saying is, because he is God, and we have full faith in Bhagavad Gita, so we accept like what he's saying is actually true with full faith. So Krishna says, among things possessing qualities, I am the primary manifestation of nature, and among great things, I am the total material creation. Among subtle things, now the subtle body, right? Among subtle things, I am the spirit soul. So he is the actual soul. So he is the Vibhu, like he is the whole, and we are the Anu, we are just the particle of him. So qualitatively, we are the same. Quantitatively, we are different. Just like my son is like just me. I mean, sometimes like in old age, they used to call like Elizabeth 1, 2, 3, like everybody is Elizabeth. Like in our scriptures, we have King Bharat. We are going to take that example right now. And many King Bharat 1, 2, 3. So that way, so he says, among the certain things, I am the spirit soul, and of the things that are difficult to conquer. Okay, mind these words. Difficult to conquer, I am the mind. So Krishna is, like he's putting a stamp. Mind is the most difficult thing to conquer. So if you don't believe Arjun, for whatever reasons, you can believe on Krishna. And if you don't believe Krishna, you can actually believe Google. Just go and search in Google what is the most difficult thing to control. I think it will show up, like mind will show up there. So let's believe that mind is the most, like the difficult thing to control. And you can try. Actually, this is a good exercise you can practice at home. So just try to do meditation. What I have heard is, like, in this age, you cannot even focus for more than 2 minutes. So try to do that and be honest to yourself. Right? Like you can fake the whole world. So nobody is like going to come ask you, were you really able to like control the mind? Didn't get any thoughts or anything. It will take a lot of time to practice. So people who go to the yoga centers, like, it's bad news. Sorry, you're just wasting your money. And I would say, like, stop doing that. Go there for exercise. If you want to actually do exercise, please go there. It's very much needed. Even I need that. My wife always complains, like, you don't do the yoga or anything. She does not want me to go to gym, because what we are hearing is most of the people who go to gym and who take supplements, they are getting heart attack. So like 2 years back, she was saying, you have to go to gym, you have to do that physio, what was called like this, cardiac exercises and so on. Now she said, you should not even think about going to gym. Don't do that. Just do cycling and do yoga. So don't go to yoga if you want to actually control your mind.
You're right. I went to yoga for mind, but it didn't help my mind.
Good, thanks for
My body became a little flexible, but my stress didn't come down.
Thanks for making it public. No, we need, like, we are all scientists, like most of us. Even if we are like musicians or whatever, we live in a scientific world. We don't believe unless somebody prove.
No, mood gets lifted a little bit, but your stress.
No, it's very nice environment with lots of candle and like nice music. We do that in Krishna conscious, like in ISKCON as well. Yesterday we were having very nice kirtan with like.
No, you exercise, you feel good. I meant.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do anything for my.
For me, it was perfect. I'll just make like this last incident. So when I was like a couple of years back, I was in Sweden and I had some time. So after coming back from work, I used to go for yoga classes. It was free. It was sponsored by my company. So I went there. We do half an hour exercise, and then it was, which asana is that? Shavasana. You know Shavasana, right? You just lay down on your, right? Correct? That's Shavasana, right? You just lay down and close your eyes. So after 10 minutes, I was actually snoring, like really into that. So that's the best way you can do it. So go there, please, but not for controlling the mind, because it's very hard to control.
Excuse me, can I say something?
Yes.
I am a teacher for 25 years, and what you're saying is not correct. When you practice yoga, you learn how to watch and observe the mind. Now, controlling the mind is impossible, that's true. But observing the mind is the first step, and it takes years of practice and everyday practice. So what you call yoga, physical exercise, that's not yoga. That's part of it, and asana is part of it. But what comes with that takes a lot of work and dedication. So sorry to interrupt.
No, I completely. So let me just
a little bit like, okay.
No, you're absolutely right. So what I was saying is, don't go to the yoga centers that you see here. I didn't say like go to your, like, you might be the right teacher, but most of the schools I have went to, like the gym, and they have yoga classes. It's only about exercise. So this is not a class to even like actually advertise or market a specific like gym institute or something. I was more on the gym thing, not on the yoga center.
Yes, but then you have to talk about asanas. You have to understand the concept of yoga is made up of 8 different limbs, and asana is one. And then you have pranayama, and then you have pratyahara, and then you have dharana. And actually, Krishna talks about that. So
exactly.
I am a little bit touched by this.
No, this is true. So this is. Yeah.
Let me add, please. What I have also seen, the teachers who are teaching are not doing a good job. Don't take, and it's not for you, but this is my personal experience. And because I am into this for longer, because I want to control my mind. This is my aim since, I don't know. So then I shifted to pranayama, Anulom Vilom, and that is much faster. I'm not saying yoga, if you do 10 years, you would, I cannot do that 10 years. I need it immediate. So I went to pranayama, and that really helped. Anulom Vilom or There are a lot of things like I don't know the name, but it does help. Pranayama more than yoga.
Yeah,
this is my
so
first-
basically you both are correct. The point was not to like judge on yoga or something. There is a very specific chapter, or I would say the whole Bhagavad Gita is about yoga, and in Bhagavad Gita Krishna is mentioning 3 different kinds of yoga. So I wanted to end this. I was more making it in a joke format, but the main concept, how Krishna is telling here is like we have different yogas. We have Jnana Yoga, we have Karma Yoga, we have Bhakti Yoga. So he's saying like you have multiple kinds of yoga, but it depends on which yoga you are born in, which era, which age you are in. So in this fast-paced life, like what we are living now, it's very difficult to control your mind using the yoga asanas. It's very, very difficult. And we all like shortcuts. We have control all delete to lock our computer. All IT engineers, you know that we have control C, control V to copy and paste. We like all the shortcuts. So if we want to like go to certain place, we try to take the shortest route. So and Prabhupada made everything like in a very shortcut way. Krishna actually made a lot of things in a shortcut way in Bhagavad Gita. So yoga is one of the way you can actually connect. Yoga means like connection according to Krishna. That means connecting the soul with the super soul. That is the main purpose. And what Mataji said is like absolutely right. So first thing is like you have to actually understand what it is, and then you can go to the next steps. So it's a very detailed topic. There is like Patanjali Yoga and so on. There's a lot of like tons of literature. You really need someone like Mataji to understand yoga concept. But when it comes to Bhagavad Gita, we are talking about Bhakti Yoga. That is one of the way, and we cannot accommodate that in like next 10 minutes. I'll just give a very quick example of Raja Bharat. I had like couple of examples, like I said, Bhishma Pitama. But King Bharat, he was the son of Lord Rishabdev. Lord Rishabdev is one of the incarnations of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. It's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 1st, 3rd chapter. Lord Rishabdev is no other than Adidev of Jainism. The Jain people like no, not Mahavir. He is like Rishabdev. Lord Rishabdev is the Adidev, which means he is the Adi means like eternity. So he is the first. Like that's the God what Jainism follow. And then they have a lot of Tirthankars. Like we have Prabhupada as one of the Acharya. They have like their own Acharyas. So his son King Bharat, and Lord Rishabdev's preaching was based on renunciation. One of the opulences that God possesses. So Krishna has like 6 opulences. One of them is like renunciation. To be in the order where you can just renounce everything. Even if you have your family, you can live a family life with renunciation. Like Krishna had 16,108 wives. It's such a, sorry?
It's a lot.
Yeah, no, it's contradiction, not contradictions. How do you call it?
Controversy?
Not controversy. Like 2 things at the same time. Paradox. Yeah, thanks. Sorry, brain freeze. So he is like having 16,108 wives. At the same time, he is the most renunciate. It's impossible, right? And Lord Rishabdev was following on that lines. King Bharat, like he learned the order of renunciation from his father, and he was like ruling the whole world. And that's why India, as Britishers called our country, it was called Bharat, like before that. And Bharat comes from this King Bharat. And we had multiple King Bharat, like Lord Ramchandra's brother was called Bharat. Then we have one Bharat in Mahabharat where he is like the ancestor of Bhishma or Arjun. So this Bharat Maharaj, he is going to the forest one day, and he sees a pregnant deer coming to the river Gandaki. Yeah, and suddenly at the same moment there is a roar, like very loud roar of the lion, and because of that this pregnant deer gets scared and she gives birth to the calf immediately, and she runs away. And while running and crossing the river, she gets she dies. So she leaves her body, but the calf is there. King Bharat is like he's a saintly person, so he because of the Mahamaya, there is a verse in Markandeya Puran. It says like Jnani Napi Chetasi Devi Bhagavati Hisa Balada Krishya Mohaya Mahamaya Prashyati. That means this Mahamaya, the Durga Devi, even for the most intelligent ones, like Bharat, King Bharat, or Vishwamitra, who got infatuated with Urvashi, so all these intellect, even those kind of like, even Narad Muni, he thinks like he can anytime visit Lord Vishnu whenever he thinks, because he has that boon, like he can go anywhere. So he thinks like that, and then he gets bewildered. So he never finds Vaikuntha. There is a nice story in Bhagavatam about that, and then all this Ramayana comes into play after that. So, yeah, this Raja Bharat, who is the King Bharat, who is very intellectual. He is living a saintly life, renowned sort of life, going to forest, eating only whatever is like needed for the body and so on. This person gets attached to that small calf, creates that mamta, the love, affection towards that calf, to this deer, and then slowly this deer grows up, and he creates a lot of attachment. One fine day, he could not find this deer. This little deer is like now grown up. He's not finding him. He's searching him all over the place. He's so much attached that he's almost about to die, Bharat. And then he sees that his this deer like is like his son sitting in front, and then he's lamenting on that deer. So he is just visualizing that this deer is his son and family. He has forgotten everyone. He's left his kingdom. He was ruling the whole world. He left everything there. He went to the forest, but he got attached. Like this intellectual person, that this intelligence, what he's going to carry to the next, was supposed to carry to the next life. He actually, because of this Mahamaya, the words that we just said, she just pulled this King Bharat from the intelligence. He was just so close to getting Krishna. He was so close to go back to Godhead, to Vrindavan. She pulls him back and puts into this deer, and he's just thinking that this is his son. And at the time of death, he's just thinking about this deer. And when he leaves his his kalivaram, his body, this one exactly, this yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. So his thought is only about the deer. He's just thinking of that, and he takes birth as a deer in the next life immediately, because Krishna has promised, you just think about something and I'm going to give you. And that's why we all have a faith that Krishna is our best friend. He's actually sitting in our body as like in our gross body, inside our subtle body, as Paramatma. He's such a nice friend. He allows us to do whatever we want. Even if we want to kill someone, he does not interfere. He let us do that. He's such a nice friend. Have you seen such a friend? Like letting you do whatever you want in your life. So I want to like just wrap up. So and then you'll get 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Otherwise they'll just like kick me out of this room. So yeah. Anyways, they will be kicking me out. So yeah, I'm really sorry to like.
No, that's okay.
So yeah, I don't know where we were. If somebody can help me.
And he's your best friend.
Yeah, he's such a best friend that he allows you to do everything, anything, even to the rapist. Like he allows him. Otherwise, if he does not allow, I cannot even pick up this glass. I can just get paralysis. We have stories in Bhagavatam in chapter 10. There are instances where some demons were coming to kill Krishna, and then they just got paralyzed. Like they cannot move their hand. Like just like they stop there itself. And he allows us to do whatever, because he's such a good, nice friend. So this King Bharat, he was born as a deer. But the best part, remember this would be the key takeaway of the whole, like whatever discussion we had. Since Raja Bharat was practicing the Krishna consciousness, as Prabhupada says, or we can say he was into the path of devotion or bhakti, or he was practicing his sadhana, or whatever you want to call, like, or yoga, or whatever you want to call it in that way, that particular intelligence went with him to his next life, and he could remember what mistake he did, and he rectified that in the body of deer. And when he left his body as that deer, he actually went back to Krishna, and he never came back.
No. He took birth as Jat Bharat.
Yeah, but I mean, his time is short, so we're just cutting off. So I mean, there is there's always like sequences where what you remember. No, the point I was trying to make was the intelligence goes to the next body, and even though if you have a body of an animal, but you had the intelligence that you gained like in the previous life. So this was the point I wanted to make. So whatever practice you are making now in this life, in the path of like devotion, to learn how to do bhakti, to do your sadhana, or to be a good person, to help others, to understand Krishna. All this is actually going to go with you in the next life. So even if you do a little progress, that progress is not going to be wasted. That is also promised in Bhagavad Gita. It is going to go to the next life. So don't stop doing whatever you're doing. So if you think like, hey, I'm going to do this like later on, it is like too early, or I'm not eligible, I have done so many sins in my life, am I really like, should I even touch this book, which is so holy book, many kinds of thoughts comes into different individuals, like mind in a different way. Not everybody will get the same thought, but whatever I said might be like related to someone. So stop like, like thinking that, because even little progress, what you make is guaranteed to go to the next life, and you're going to benefit from that. So this is the only wealth that you earn, which is going to stay with you forever. Everything else is like going to stay here, and we stop here.
Quick question. Is there a reason why we don't take our intelligence now with us to our next life?
Is there
The reason why we don't take our intelligence or got our intelligence?
we got it, right? We have it.
But from our previous life.
Yeah, you have it. You have it. So when you were born, you were doing certain things which nobody taught to. Like the first thing like the boy does is like he just starts like drinking the milk from the breast of his or her mother. How do you know that? Who taught that boy like from first second? How do you know that? Where is that intelligence coming from? We call it intelligence, right? If I am like, just assume this is full of water. So this is intelligence, right? I'm picking it like this. But if I was like holding it, you will just say this boy is crazy. He does not even know how to hold the glass. It's the same way. Like how does that boy know how to hold the breast and suck the milk? Where is that intelligence coming from? I just took one example, basic, which we can relate. There are many instances where we do things which we haven't learned. It's just there. The intelligence stays there, and especially the spiritual knowledge, is something that stays intact forever. All the rubbish things usually go away. I mean, we have this cleaning process. So when you leave your body, you have your leftovers, like your wife, your son, they do all these processes to help you get away of all those wrongdoings that you have done. We call it like the 13-day sanskar and all. There are like a lot of processes in order to get away all those things, and those processes, like your descendants, they help you liberate. They help you get away with the bad things. They help you stay intact in the Krishna consciousness. We read Garud Puran when people leave their body. Why? Because you want that soul to still get connected with Krishna even after they have left the body. So I think I have heard this in many lectures. Even Lal Govind Prabhu says like, instead of hearing the Garud Puran after you die, you should actually hear the Garud Puran when you're alive, because that is actually going to help you live the life. This is the crux. So the intelligence stays. It's not going to go away.
Only the memory is gone.
Yeah, the memory is gone. This is good, right? If just imagine, like, if you remembered like five lives previous, you will get confused, like, because the person you call your wife now might be, like your, I don't know who. Yeah, it will go really crazy. Somebody like was mentioning yesterday to me. How much time do we have?
Yeah, I'd just like to ask. We know that Arjuna is eternal associate of Krishna. At the same time, Mahabharata, when it's finished the battle, they all died, the Pandavas. And you tell, according to the shloka, so the stage of our consciousness, you have the fact where you go after death, yeah? So Krishna, from one point, he's eternal associate, from other point, we don't know what he was thinking during the death. And the second question is...
Sorry, the first, I didn't hear the last line. Can you repeat?
Arjuna. When Arjuna died, we don't know what he was lost souls before death, yeah?
Correct.
So, as eternal association, he should go with Krishna to Goloka Vrindavan, but at the same time, he's a kshatri, and he... and the question is also, the second question is, what was his motivation to go in the battle? Because he was kshatri, or because he just was man manobhava man bhakto, I would like just to associate because you're God. So what was his motivation is first question. The second, where did he go after his death?
Very, very good question. The second one I leave to all these, like the experts of ISKCON to answer where did it go after his life. So I'm just the beginner of the beginner, so I don't know the answer to that. Where he went, only Krishna can tell where he went. Must be written in some scripture. The first question is very, very interesting. Thank you for asking that. Arjun is such a special devotee or a person or whoever that we can learn from. Prabhupada says, always remember Krishna and never? Yeah, never forget Krishna. I think the kids are like busy otherwise. Usually the kids, they shout like, when you say always remember Krishna, the kids will say never forget Krishna. Because they are the ones who always remember Krishna. So the point, did you understand this line? Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. What does that mean actually in entirety?
Means he will never forget him. Because if he follow Krishna, means he all the time thinking about him.
No, so let's focus on the only two words, always and never. Other is like Krishna and forget and remember. So it's the same. Always and never. So what does that mean like in entirety? Always and never. It's eternity, right? Always. Like, so if we have a life, let's divide that into days. So we have like 24 hours. And if we say always remember Krishna, which means we should, 24 hours we should remember Krishna. And never forget Krishna means 24 hours we should never forget Krishna. And how is that possible? If you actually want to get inspired, you read about Arjuna, what he was doing. He is one of the person, even during sleep, he is chanting the name of Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna, he was calling him. But
even while sleeping. So he is one of the example. I always, I don't know, admire is like such a small word. We can not even not even get 1,000 miles closer to him when what he is doing. We are just reading the scriptures. You talk to any devotee, they'll say, hey, we should always chant 16 rounds. We should, the Vedas prescribe 64 rounds. 64 rounds is equal to how many breaths you take in one day. So that is why you need to the number of names you have in 64 rounds is equivalent to the number of breath you take. It's scientific, so you can make calculation. And that's why it's prescribed as 64. Prabhupada, as I said, shortcuts. He is very, very merciful. After, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he must be the only merciful person, personality. He made it very simple, 16 rounds, because he takes all the, the sin from us away. So we should be really sincere and chant 16 rounds. Arjun was actually chanting Krishna's name 24 hours a day. Even when he is fighting, if he is eating, if he is sleeping, whatever he is doing, he is actually remembering Krishna.
It's written?
This is written, you can read it in Mahabharata. You read Mahabharata, yeah. It's very well described.
During the sleep, I remember.
Yeah. He's 24 hours he's remembering. Even while sleeping, he's chanting the name of Krishna. So
Krishna was chanting the name of Arjuna during the sleeping.
That is like a different story. We don't want to go into the territory of Krishna, what he's doing, because many things like he's a god. We should not. We should try to understand what he's doing, but it's very difficult to understand. It's we say in India we say apar maya napar paya. So whatever God is doing, apar means infinite, maya means illusions or the creations or whatever. Let's call it creations in that context. So it's infinite, and we cannot never understand what Krishna is doing. His activities, whatever he is doing, we just call it it's very leela. We call it pastime. And then we stop there, it was his Leela, and then we are happy, because if we try to understand more, we won't. So thanks for asking that question about Arjuna. Arjuna is a very best example of what we should do as a devotee life. I think the time is too short for actually going into the examples, how they practice this. So if we get chance another time, we'll discuss into that. What is the process, what Prahlad Maharaj has prescribed, or Shabri, Ramchandra ji has prescribed. What are the ways to actually achieve that kind of lifestyle? In India, we have these forgot. Anyways, art of living, yeah. Art of living we call this. Ravi Shankar, Shri Ravi Shankar. Art of living. That art of living is actually prescribed by Prahlad Maharaj as this, this Navada Bhakti. And same Ramchandra ji is saying what is the art of living. And Arjun is the living example of art of living. And for every, like every kind of those 9 steps, we have examples from our scriptures, how they were practicing that particular way, the mode of devotion.
What Swarupa he can get in this Goloka? It's just interesting. What kind of Swarupa?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's actually, when you go there, it does not matter. This is another topic, like somebody else can take this. Because in that, whatever so far, like little I have understood from Prabhupada is that there is no difference between a grass, an insect, whatever in that local. Everybody is the same because soul is like uniform. There is no difference in anything. So you can be anything, everything, and you can, you can enjoy everything at the same time. So there is no difference. Only difference is that there is Krishna and we all are servant of Krishna. So if you really want to be the servant of, not these distressful things of this world, temporary world, it's better to become servant of Krishna and try to remember him at the time of death. But it is very difficult because mind is very flickering. We didn't get chance like how we can do that, because you cannot just it's very easy to say, hey, remember, remember Krishna at the time of death, but it's impossible. It's impossible. I wish I had like 15 minutes more, but yeah. So thank you so much for all the questions. I'll be here if you still have anybody. And Hare Krishna.
Prabhu ki
Jai.
Gaura Arti, so the ladies will go on this side and the gentlemen can go on this side. Then we can Toshin Prabhu. Where? What do you want? Maybe something
Hare Krishna जय ओम विष्णुदास महंस परिवाराचार्य सत्य श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की ISKCON BBT founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada की जय निचलीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाराचार्य Astutar Sata Shri Srimad, His Divine Loving Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Prabhupada ki Jai Nichilila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya, Astutar Sata Shri Srimad, Srila Gaurkishoras Babaji Maharaj ki Jai Nichilila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya, Astutar Sata Shri Srimad, Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai Nichilila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Stutar Sata Shri Srimad, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Ananda Kuti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Ramacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Sri Rupa Sri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Sri Radha Deshram ki ISKCON Amsterdam ki Sri Karuna Nitai Gaura Chandra ki Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
बोलो श्री सर्वनाथ नरसिंह भगवान की जय। बोलो श्री संतराज प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। बोलो श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय।
गौरचंद्र की
जय।
So we will continue now with Tulsi Puja. Maybe we can make a little bit space for Tulsi Maharani in the middle. Room.
Yes.
So we are going to do a small aarti. After the aarti ceremony, everyone can circumambulate Tulsi Maharani 3 times and put 1 simple drop of water in the pot of Tulsi Maharani. And I will give a sign when it is so far. Tulsi Maharani ki. So please bow down for Tulsi Maharani. Vrindayai Tulsi Devyai Priyayai Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavatya Namo Namaha. Vrindayai Tulsi Devyai Priyayai Keshavasya Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavatya Namo Namaha. Vrindayai Tulsi Devyai Priyayai Keshavasya cha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavatya Namo Namaha. Vrindayai Tulsi Devyai Priyayai Keshavasya Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavatya Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshavaśya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Pradidevi Satyavatya Namo Namaha.
Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshavaśya Vishnu Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavate Namo Namaha.
Tulsi Maharani ki.
Jai.
Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्याय नमो नमः वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णु भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्याय नमो नमः तुलसी महारानी की So please keep seated.
Have a cloth to wash the floor.
So again, very much thank you for coming today to ISKCON Amsterdam Sunday Feast. See so many new faces today. People who came in the past that came again. So thank you for that. Haribol. Haribol. Let me first thank our lecturer of today, His Grace Renki Prabhu. Haribol. The cooks of today, Ashtasaki Mataji, assisted by Premalata Mataji, Vivek Prabhu and Sudhir Prabhu. Haribol! And the flowers on the altar were very nicely done today by Racharani Mataji, who was also the Pujari of the day. So Haribol for them. So next week Sunday, there is unfortunately no Sunday feast because most of us will be in Radhadesh, in Radhadesh Mellows. You didn't hear about it on Friday till Sunday, I think. Friday is Monday. Indeed, there is a big festival with Kirtan going on. So if you have nothing to do, you can still go. But there will be no program here because of that temple. However, the week after, Friday 3rd of February, we will celebrate the Aquarius Day of Lord Nityananda. For those who do not know, Lord Nityananda is the personality that is on the right side. If I stand like this, for me, right side. Is it good? Yes, at that side. So the brother of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, incarnation of Lord Balaram himself. So the program which is written over here is not final yet. We will communicate it in our newsletter, but it will be something like this. So we hope that there will be Harinam. The mentioning is still thinking, I think.
No, we will.
We will, okay.
Yeah.
So Harinam and other kind of program. So keep an eye on the newsletter. More details will be.
Yeah, the time may be a little different.
Yes, I think maybe it's a little bit
A
later.
little bit later, I think so.
Anyway, you are kindly invited to come today.
What about Prasadam?
Yeah, that will come. Like I said, the details will come.
Okay, that's an important detail.
So I see a lot of newcomers. Can those who are for the first time here raise their hands? Oh, not so much.
Six.
Yeah. It's a
Oh,
lot.
this
Book.
collecting.
So we want to give our first time comers a token of appreciation, a nice book. And if you are really interested in the matter of this book, we have much more of these kind of books, which you can get over here for a small or big donation, whatever you want. So very much thank you for coming. I hope we will see you much more. If you are not subscribed to our newsletter, please go to our website, iskonamsterdam.nl, subscribe, or come to me, I can also subscribe you, and we will be up to date on our programs here in Amsterdam. Then we will serve Prasadam in the temple today. So this will be a tryout to see how it will work, because it was a long time ago that we did this for the last time. So to make this a success, we need some volunteers. For example, is there someone here who wants to help serving Prasadam? Please raise your hand. So 6, I see. Please, if I finish, then please go to the back. Then you will get instructions what to do. Someone who wants to clean the temple floor afterwards. Yes, thank you. Clean the hall. Yes, thank you. Clean the kitchen floor.
I'll do the kitchen and house.
And clean the pots and pans. For that we need 3 One more? Yes. So those who cleaning after the Prasadam, so which will last till 6:45, something like that. You can enjoy the Prasadam himself. To give some instructions, we will sit like this. And the altar over there, we have 2 rows over here for the brothers, and 2 rows over there for the matatis. You can get the cushion, put over there, and take already a seat. For the announcement, that's it.
Can you also do programs like once, like at least twice a week, like once in a weekday?
We can discuss after also.
Thank you. Make a roll here.
So please make the rows. And you can recite the Prashadam prayers when you're done. Prashadi Govinde, Namo Brahmani Vaishnave, Sattvapunyavatam Rajan, Vishvaso Nagachayate, Sharira Avityajal, Jodendriyataikal, Jivipele Vishai Sakore,
Hotel will not be open Okay, so after the food you will open it.
Krishna Paradoyamoy, Gauri Bari Jiva Joy, Swaprasadam Dindabai, Sayanam Ritapamo, Radha Krishna Gurapao, Premada Chaitanya Nitai, Jai Nimai, Jai Nitai, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Babu Sharan ki, Prabhupada ki.
Staat hij nog aan die jongens of niet?
Ja. You want to?
This is like a deja vu, you know?
Back in the
So
years
long
ago,
ago,
years ago?
2 years or something.
2 years ago.
Too much. So, how was the birthday? Oh yes. Yeah, it was just a few girls, yeah, her friends, and yeah. Yesterday was the fish. Like a challenge. I think it's lost. I understand, but I need to just three girls. I mean, she was thrilled.